explosion of the reactor at Chernobyl had enormous consequences, but not the ones I think many people expect. I followed the studies that have been done by international experts in radiation and oncology that followed the damage at Chernobyl for all the years since. The damage that was caused to people by the fallout from that worst of all nuclear power accidents has been remarkably limited. You can look at the evidence, it's all been published, it's been certified by the United Nations and the World Health Organization.
What's so striking is just to go read the original World Health Organization documents and read the public health reports.
Was that a shock to you?
It was a complete shock to me. I mean, there was a period where I'm reading all the Chernobyl stuff and I kind of am not believing it because it was so out of sync with what I had come to believe.
Literally hundreds of thousands of people were involved in the clear-up operation. They're known as liquidators, and they got some really significant doses of radiation. Their doses are known, and their health has been studied ever since. And even in that large number of people who are very heavily irradiated, there's no additional increase in cancer. And there had never been any children born deformed from Chernobyl, according to the best authoritative science we've got from the United Nations. So people have substantially been fed an urban myth, really, about what the impacts of Chernobyl actually were.
I mean, I've got books full of it. 1 million people dying right now or have died because of Chernobyl, and it's only 25 years ago. How many millions more will Chernobyl kill? 40% of the European landmass is radioactive. Will be for hundreds of years.
In order to believe that 1 million people will be killed by Chernobyl, which is what Greenpeace and Helen Caldicott, a number of other people claim, you have to believe there was a cover-up of just massive proportions by the World Health Organization, by the United Nations, by literally hundreds of the world's top public health experts. It's so absurd of an idea. And it's exactly the same thing global warming deniers think.
What do you think is the motivation for the United Nations to perpetuate such an appalling cover-up?
I don't know. I'm not privy to their motivations.
But the difference between 50 people and 1 million people is so extreme. I think people are confused about what they think.
Well, they should look at the literature. This is the most important study almost that's ever been done.
How do you explain
This is the biggest cover-up in the history of medicine.
How do you explain
And
this?
I'm
Many of
so embarrassed.
the tactics and the arguments that have been used by the environmental groups against nuclear power are exactly the same tactics and arguments that are used by climate skeptics.
The United Nations, that's where all of this started. It was the IPCC in the United Nations said that the world's going to come to an end because of the emissions of CO2.
So the cherry picking of scientific data, the nurturing of scientists who happen to believe your ideological position, and the production of reports which apparently are authoritative and scientific, but actually are just ideological propaganda, basically.
41% of the people believe that global warming claims are exaggerated.
Climate change deniers are idiots.
But they're saying the same
I don't
thing.
care about them. They are denying science. We're going back into the dark ages.
They're saying the same
How
thing about
dare they deny science? Not to understand science and medicine in this day and age is more than irresponsible.
How do you square these two conflicts?
I can't.